What happens when Hollywood tries to manufacture a star and the public just doesn't care? Imagine getting cast in one massive blockbuster after another, being plastered across Times Square, hailed as the next big thing, only to end up playing to an empty theater. That's not just a flop, it's a career warning shot. And right now, all eyes are on Rachel Zegler. Disney's live-action Snow White was supposed to be a cultural moment, a reinvention of a classic, led by a young star with a Golden Globe under her belt. But what was meant to be a triumph turned into a slow-motion financial sinkhole. Depending on who you ask, the film grossed either $195 million or maybe $221 million, or exactly $200 million. But here's the real kicker. The budget reportedly ballooned to nearly $300 million after reshoots and aggressive marketing. So even with generous rounding and a sprinkle of fairy dust, the math doesn't lie. This wasn't a win, it was a warning. And then came the comments. Zegler publicly criticized the original Snow White as outdated and even referred to the prince as a stalker.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
That didn't just raise eyebrows. It lit a fuse. Fans of the original were livid. And the backlash? Swift, sharp, and brutal. Still, Zegler pressed on. Next stop, the iconic London Palladium, starring in Evita. A dream role on a legendary stage. Except there's just one problem. No one bought tickets. Checking the June schedule, entire performances were wide open. It looked less like a hot show and more like a dress rehearsal that forgot to invite the audience. Compared to other productions on the West End, it's not even close. One show is a magnet. The other, a ghost town. The optics couldn't be worse. This wasn't just a flop. It was a loud, echoing thud. Once upon a time, actors earned their stripes. Small roles, indie films, slow-burn careers. Think Florence Pugh or Timothée Chalamet. They built their names one project at a time, connecting with audiences before headlining mega franchises. But Zegler? She was handed the keys to the kingdom without that foundation. West Side Story, Snow White, The Hunger Games prequel. Back to back to back. No build-up, no connection, just assumption. Hollywood tried to force a star into existence. But audiences don't respond to marketing. They respond to authenticity. And that's where things unraveled. What makes this worse is how Zegler handled the spotlight. It wasn't just that she made controversial statements, it's that she doubled down on them, alienating the very fans Disney depends on. Her dismissive comments about Snow White, her tone in interviews, it all felt off. The vibe wasn't confidence, it was condescension. And when you're leading one of the most iconic fairy tales of all time, that's not just a PR issue, it's a full-blown disaster. Hollywood already watched The Little Mermaid suffer from online backlash. So why walk the same path again? Here's the part most fans don't see. When a star fails to fill theaters, or worse, tanks a multi-million-dollar film, they don't just face bad press. They get flagged by the industry itself. Studios track everything: ticket sales, social sentiment, audience trust. And when a name starts showing up under loss leader too many times, it triggers an insurance tier known as a completion bond surcharge. Translation: studios have to pay more just to cast you. And once that happens, scripts stop landing on desks, meetings get awkward, projects get pushed to maybe next year. Casting today isn't just gut instinct, it's data-driven. Studios use algorithms that calculate risk, sentiment, and profitability. And right now, those models are sending up red flags around Rachel Zegler. The narrative is no longer rising star. It's controversial lead who doesn't convert audiences. And that sticks. It's not personal, it's business. If a studio can't justify your name on a poster, they'll find someone else who can. So where does that leave Rachel Zegler? She can act, that's not up for debate, but Hollywood's obsession with instant fame may have backfired. Hard. If there's any hope for her career, it lies in stepping away from the spotlight, picking roles that connect on a human level, and rebuilding trust one project at a time. But if the industry keeps forcing the issue, hoping the next big role will flip the script, they might just burn out whatever goodwill is left. Because here's the harsh truth: you can't algorithm your way to stardom. Audiences aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for real. And right now, they're not buying what Hollywood is selling. What do you think? Has Rachel Zegler been set up to fail? Or is this just part of the Hollywood machine chewing up another young star? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the rise and fall of fame.